Hey guys, John Fitzen. We're going to be talking about the Karambit and Joe, God, sorry buddy, Muskie. How do you think you say it?
Makazi?
Yeah, Makazi. Yeah, sorry guys, I'm bad at names. But anyway, I've had more people ask about the Karambit, so we're going to do one. So we'll be right back. Okay guys, here we are. We're talking about a Karambit. Sorry, this is the only Karambit I have. I've made Karambits for guys. But usually when they want a Karambit, they end up buying one of my larger knives, and you'll see why. Karambits, you know, a real Karambit, what it was made for, it was a woman's utility knife. Way back when, that's what the Karambit was used for. And it has the finger thing, and you can come up here and you can drop it and do things with your hands and come up here and grab it again. As a fighter, a Karambit, how it has the hook blades and all the other stuff. You know, guys, look at this. Your hands are exposed, okay? And, you know, if somebody by chance, a lot of guys, believe it or not, they don't have sharp knives. You grab that knife, you come down here and twist it, go like this, whatever you want to do with it and get it to where it's hurting the guy. I mean, you can really screw the guy up. And believe it or not, most guys don't have a sharp knife. When the Indian guy went up against and everything out in the street one time, we went out there and this guy goes, "You want to dance?" And I go, "Yeah, I'll dance." So I took out my two knives. I had it was a hog. It looked like a Klingon fighter and a Microtech double-edged halo. And I had that out and I was down there going, and I was going to take this guy. Well, the cops came, long story short. They took his knife away, but they gave it back to him. Oh my God, what, Jesus, tell me about it. They were so close to taking this guy across the neck. And I'll tell you, Randy, it was just like, shit, man. But every time I backed off, he started coming at me again. I'd go, and then he'd back off. And you can't turn your back on these guys. But he was kind of drunk, he wasn't. But I felt his knife. It was duller than a butter knife. And I just thought, oh God. But anyway, getting back to a Karambit, you know, it's a utility knife, really. If you look at it, you can use any knife as a fighter, but you come up against something like this. Look at this, you know, and I'm not doing a reverse grip like a lot of guys do on Karambits and everything. So yeah, look at this. If I'm coming down in, look how much more area I have. I'm going to beat his blade. I'm going to take his fingers. But if I go up in here like that, whoops, go like this. Yeah, like that. And, you know, I'm not looking to catch the blade. And you know what? If the blade's there and I can catch it, I can catch it. I'm trying not to catch it, dude.
Thank you.
Because I was down there going. But, you know, if the blade drops in there, I got you. But I can go down the blade, take your fingers right off. Karambits have its place, but that's what they were made for. They were a women's utility knife. And a lot of them with the hook bills, you got it, they're sharpened on that side. When they come up, that really bites in deep, and you got to be careful because the leather jacket will stop it, all the other stuff. And you guys, this isn't fully a traditional Karambit. So, and this is a cheap one in that. But, you know, you get a big folder, you got such an advantage, and you're holding it like this. You're not holding it with a reverse grip or anything like that. So where you can work on shit and come in here like this, you know, and your hands are all exposed. Shit, man, you're going to come in here like this. I'm going to sit there and go, pop. That's what I'm going to do. You're coming in, anything close, I'm going to pop, and look what you're going to hit. Except me, I got rings. So, love me, hate me, sorry, Karambit's a good utility knife, and it's because you can sit there and do all these things with the damn thing. You know, can drop it, be working on the damn thing, come up here, cut, drop it, and that's what it was made for. Karambit. Cool. Keep your edges sharp, your powder dryer going to viewer emails. Hey guys, viewer comments here. Wow, chopsticks. Wow, cool. I was showing a guy how to knife fight with chopsticks. Well, Sean, we were using chopsticks. We weren't, yeah. So anyway. Yeah. Well, you could just go across the table and just stick somebody in the eye, even how blunt it is. You know, just. But anyway, that's a whole nother thing. Use a fork. So anyway, okay, so let's see. Let me put on my old man glasses because you guys, I am getting old. But I know when I stand next to Rocket, God, I look like I'm 20, right?
Yeah.
Okay, be prepared 1000. You mentioned ago your dad's weightlifting techniques and what videos. You know, my dad was one of the 4 founders of bodybuilding. Believe it or not, my dad was 115-pound dumbbells in each hand doing an incline letdown. That's when you're on an incline bench and you're letting them down slow. My very best, and I'm out of shape, guys. I got to start hitting the weights again. I just don't like the gyms I'm going to, and my gym's outside, and God, it's just a bunch of stuff. But anyway, my very best was 90s, and I'm cheating those damn things up, and just, God. But my old man, just, what a powerhouse. It was funny, Larry Scott, and there was a guy named Dennis Madsen that were working out in the gym. My dad had all of his weights there. My dad had 2 sets of dumbbells. One's went up to 120. The other sets of dumbbells went up to 165. And Dad used to sling those 165s. He could, oh yeah, Dad never used steroids. And they were talking about, because Dennis was into powerlifting, hit really heavy. Larry Scott, bodybuilder. And they were talking about how to be competitive nowadays. And Larry Scott was down and saying you can't become competitive unless you're taking steroids, you know. And, you know, I was listening to Dennis and Larry, and I go, well, why was my dad so popular? And he won Mr. Utah, Mr. Rocky Mountain. And he goes, hey, your dad left heavy iron, you know. And, you know, and Dennis Madsen says, yeah, your dad never sold out, John. He says he always stayed true. My dad was a powerhouse, but there was guys that didn't take steroids that were even more powerful than my dad, that my dad was just amazed by. But yeah, we can show some techniques. We'll go visit my dad, and we'll go see some things. I think you'll get a kick in the stories he has. Holy shit. My dad had a lion, crocodile, monkey, and all this other stuff. But, you know, I've watched my dad train a guy from the BYU. He was one of their biggest, best power lifters there. And Dad did a thing called hacks and sissies, the way he developed. I watched him do 3 sets. He crawled out of the gym. It was funny as all hell. So anyway, so that's that. So we'll go visit my dad, and we're going to start talking about some lifting and all this other stuff. But my dad, he's something else. Okay, another one, Dead Boy 2. I think is that the right one? Yeah, you think? Okay, Dead Boy 2. Okay, Mr. Fitzen, why do you like A2? Is it steel for the hardening or abrasion and everything? Why I like A2? I like stainless. I like high carbon. A2 is super, super tough. It holds a really good edge. Okay? Basically, and listen to me on this, you guys, high carbon holds a finer edge. To sharpen it, it's easier to sharpen. Stainless steel holds a longer edge. Doesn't hold as fine as edge. It can. I mean, it depends on how you're sharpening it and all the other stuff. But on the norm, it's why sushi knives. I mean, God, they're so damn sharp, and they're tempered really low. On the sharpening thing, like I should have told you guys on that, the water stones. Water stones for our knives that we're doing is just, our knives are way too hard. Their knives are probably at 52 to 56 Rockwell hardness on the Japanese. Our stuff like this is 58. I like 58 Rockwell hardness. And, you know, so anyway, but A2, I like it because it doesn't rust that easy. It has thing like high carbon, and it has stainless properties. That's why I like it. And, but, you know, still, you really don't want A2 as a pocket knife. you know, in your pocket because your pocket sweats. That's why these guys, I get these old guys, they go, yeah, I want a charade, the old one, pocket, and I put it in my pocket, and these old guys, God, they rust away because they're in their pocket. And I go, you really need to make a little sheath knife for that and everything. So anyway.
Like it depends on the use, kind of.
Yeah, it does. Everything, all knives have their uses, guys. It's just like shit. And you guys, you know, that's my opinion. Everybody's different, and everybody comes off on something else, and you know, so that's just my opinion. So, and I've been doing this for a long time, you know. So, oh, and there was another guy. I just want to tell you. He said, John, yeah, he hasn't been in Blade magazine or whatever. Yeah, I was in Blade magazine, and I had my interchangeable blade. I advertised in there, but they screwed me bad. They put down, oh, geez, what was it? They said 416 stainless blade and ATS 34 handle. And this should have been right opposite. I mean, 416 doesn't even get that hard. And I'm down there going, what the hell? And then I had my meteorite buoy in there, and I was one of the up and coming guys, and they were showing it, and never said one thing about the meteorite. Never said. See, pissed Stinky off too. Look at him, he's pissed. You pissed, Ink? Huh? So, but anyway, talk to you guys later.